Simanga Kumata Bagi mbokk di leen dalal si suñ Mansa Kunda mi nga xam ne moom lañ jagleel askan bi président mi si boppam moo ko jagleel askan bi parce que daf ñu sant wax ñu ne bëgg réeroo am diggante askan bi ak nguur gi moo lépp lu nga xam ne nguur baa ngi see dox suba ba guddi bëgg na askan gi yëg ko waaye tamit lépp lu nga xam ne askan baa ngi koo joytu mooy seen xalaat mooy seen bébét bëgg na tamit nguur gi yëg ko moo tax ñu jagleel programme bi tudde ko ministerial town hall di ici benn ministre ak timam bi yëpp ñaari ajuma bu nekk ñoo jàkkaarloo ak askan bi ñu mën a askan bi li nga xam ne lañ nekk di liggéey si seen secteur bi waaye tamit askan bi laaj leen li nga xam ne mooy seen xalaat ak liñ bëgg a am si secteur bi te nag am nañ secteur bu am solo secteur bi nga xam ne moom moo jawriñ ji nga xam ne moo amee lu ñoo ooyee jàng ak jàngale gi parce que ñëpp xam nañ ne te umpalewut kenn ne jàng ak jàngale su doxul réew du dox réew su doxee jàng ak jàngale moo dox loolu gestukat yi wax nañ ko réew yu nga xam ne tey am nañ jëm kanam soo seetee seen jàng ak jàngale baa dox balaa réew ji dem kanam kon su bëggee Gambia dox foog ministre bi mu dox te bu mu ñëwee ba léegi ministre mi nga ne moo amee jawriñ ji mi nga xam ne mooy honorable Habibatu Dramé wëcce ko yëm commencé ngom di def gis nañ ne mu ngi dox kon tey ngeen déglu ko mu wax la lu mu nekk di def waaye tamit askan bi ngeen laaj ko li nga xam loolu ngeen bëgg a xam balaa maa xuus nag dina wax ne am na ñu am solo ñu fi nekk tey ay kilifa am nañu fi ay permanent secretary jógee education ak information ak permanent secretary yu jógee Ministry of Finance am nañ fi deputy director of press office of the president am nañ fi deputy permanent secretaries am nañ fi advisors am nañ fi ay gan ñi nga xam ne jógee si suñ embassy yi nga xam ne ñoo suñ naataangoo ñu ngi nekk fii surtout ñi nga xam ne moo jógee si Nigerian High Commissioner bi ñu ngi ko dalal si programme bi waaye tamit am nañ fi kilifa gu mag mooy professeur Pierre Gomez mooy ki nga xam ne moom moo amee jawri ni jàngale gu mag gi mooy university activate centers yi ak ñi nga xam ne mooy jàngale ju mag ji moom tam mu ngi fi pour ñëw fekkee programme bi di nuyu ñëpp nag di nuyu presse bi ñi fi teew ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi ñoo seetaan si télé bi ñi nga xam ne ñoo nekk bitim réew ak ñu nekk biir Gambie fi de nuyu bu baax a baax a baax yoo ne tey nag programme bu am solo lañ am kon ñu bàyyi ministre mu ñëw waxtaan ak askan bi waaye balaa maa def loolu dinaa bëgg a jaale Gambia yëpp jaale His Excellency the President si tiis bi nga xam ne moo dal Gambia ki nga xam ne mooy Alhaji Dembo Bojang moo génn àdduna démba si guddi teel lañ ko sutura di ko ñaanal yàlla xaree ko àjjana di jaale ñëpp képp koo xam ne Gambian nga di jaale waa NPP di jaale nguur gi parce que mën na liggéey si nguur gi di jaale jobootam ak ay dëkkandoom ak ay xaritam di leen wax ne Massa li nga xam ne ñun ñëpp a ko bokk kon di ko ñaanal yàlla xaree ko àjjana kon balaa ñoo sori dinaa au ministre mu ñëw nañ ko may 20 minutes mu ñëw waxtaan ak askan bi wax leen lan mooy vision am lan mooy gis-gisam si secteur bi su ko defee ñu bàyyi ñim àndal ku nekk nga wax ñu mooy kan sa tur ak sa sant ak li nga xam ne loolu ngaa liggéey si secteur bi su ko defee ñu mën a ibi képp koo xam ne am nga loo bëgg a laaj ministre bi nga laaj ko kon ka keñamen rong mbari jandim bi tawoto mba Gambia bi sanga konton na me president o sanga konton His Excellency Adama Barrow ñin sango mialon ko leketa akeda mbela sunoti Alhaji Dembo Bojang ika fa Dembo by force baka ko wala banta kunung bile nga sutura woto sala badingol be sanga konton si Gambia be sanga konton NPP aning allied parties so bembe be sanga konton momo mialon ko i badingolong i terimale signolong bal be sanga konton na nimu Gambia be la sangolati woto me duwala e alamani manen kafro kelay. We welcome the Honorable Minister of Environment, Honorable Rohijon Manjang also is here for your information to also witness this very important Mansa Kunda, one of the most important Mansa Kundas. Yes, all ministries are important. Let me borrow from George Orwell, but some ministries are more important than others. I know Honorable Minister of Environment and Petroleum is also here. I'm just seeing you. I don't know why I missed you. Honorable Nani Juara is also here. Welcome, Honorable Nani Juara. And I repeat, all ministries are important. Petroleum is important. But you cannot exploit the petroleum if you don't have the knowledge to do it. And who gives that knowledge? Basic education. So, Madam, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister of Information. fellow cabinet ministers, diplomatic corps, senior government officials here present, esteemed development partners, educators, civil society representatives, members of the press, my fellow Gambians. I am deeply honored to address you on the occasion of the Mansa Kunda Ministerial Town Hall today. This gathering provides us with a timely opportunity to reflect on the progress achieved in basic and secondary education, to discuss the challenges that remain, and to share our collective vision for the future under the Path to Progress agenda of the Minister. Education remains the cornerstone of our national development. It is through education that our children are empowered to unlock their full potentials and to contribute meaningfully to national development. The ministry therefore stands resolute in its mandate drawn from the 2016-2030 education policy and the Constitution of the Gambia that every child, without exceptions, has access to inclusive quality education. The Path to Progress agenda of the Minister is grounded on 5 strategic pillars, shaping every decision and driving every initiative across the sector. Pillar 1 of this strategy focuses on expanding access to quality education. Through targeted interventions, we have successfully increased enrollments from 710,000 in 2020 to over 830,000 in 2025, marking a significant 17% growth that importantly includes a higher number of girls. Central to this achievement is our innovative early warning system built on the HIS2 platform, which identifies children at risk of dropping out and enables timely, life-changing support. This system continuously monitors student attendance and academic performances, categorizes learners by risk level, and facilitates interventions precisely when they are needed, reinforcing our commitment that no child in this country should be left behind. Moreover, plans are on the way to enhance this system by integrating it with the health data system, which will support early enrollment efforts and reduce exclusions. This pioneering initiative has gained international recognition through the Zero Out of School Children 2.0 program, highlighting in the Gambia's leadership in inclusive education. Since 2018, partners such as the Child Fund, Check Bikes, and Caritas have supported this effort by providing over 10,000 bicycles to students in that need this equipment or these services across the country to help in transporting and removing transportation barriers that subsequently improve their access to education. Our investment in educational infrastructure has been transformative. In 2025 alone, 387 new classrooms, averaging 11 classrooms weekly, have been constructed, providing thousands of students with safer, more conducive learning spaces. Complementing this, we have supplied over 115,000 pieces of essential furniture, including combined desks, tables, chairs, and cupboards to new and existing schools. Such investments particularly benefit rural areas where resource gaps have historically hindered progress. Providing quality furniture is more than a comfort. It is a key step in ensuring equitable learning environments. Equally important is the provision of teacher quarters, vital for attracting and retaining qualified educators, especially in rural communities. With the generous support of our partners, 330 schools across all 8 regional offices or educational regions have received a total of over 2,000 teacher quarters. This distribution prioritizes regions with the greatest need, with Upper River region receiving over 21% of the quarters, followed by the North Bank region, and others strategically placed to mitigate housing and transportation challenges. Through this, we ensure motivated teachers deliver consistent, high-quality education nationwide. Looking at our comprehensive progress from 2015 to 2025, the gains are robust and inspiring in terms of access to quality education. For example, if you look at early childhood education or development, early childhood centers with permanent structures have increased over 50% from 2015 to 2025. Total seats, that's the furniture in classroom, grew over 51%, and enrollments in these centers surged by 52%, reflecting growing participation at the foundational levels of education. The number of trained facilitators nearly doubled, which is critical to improving early learning quality. At the lower basic schools, we saw significant increase in permanent classrooms by 56% and 62% rise in total seats, meaning furniture. Enrollment almost doubled with a 51% increase, supported by a 77% growth in qualified teachers, signaling strengthened capacity to deliver quality education. At upper basic schools, we expanded the permanent structures by 79%, furniture by 56%, and enrollment by over 60%. Again, the quality teacher workforce doubled, greatly aiding improved retention and early and learning outcomes. At the level of senior secondary schools, we experienced the highest growth in permanent classrooms of over 84%, with total seats of furniture increased by 65% and enrollment by 85%. Qualified teachers grew by 100%, reflecting a strengthened senior secondary educational system. The education sector is proactively designed and developed. It's designing and developing relevant curricular materials aimed at enhancing learning outcomes and producing competent, productive citizenry. As part of these reforms, a competency-based curriculum has been developed and will be pilot tested this year through 2026. This new curricula emphasizes practical skills and critical competencies, ensuring that students are better prepared to meet the demands of the modern world and contribute meaningfully to national development. School feeding programs are also targeted interventions to enhance access and improve the learning outcomes of our students. The government of the Gambia, under the leadership of His Excellency, Mr. Adama Barrow, has demonstrated a strong commitment to sustaining the homegrown school feeding program, progressively increasing budget allocations over recent years. Starting from $30 million in 2019, government funding grew to $90 million in 2020 and $90.5 million in 2021. Subsequent allocations also rose to $120 million in 2022, $162 million in 2023-2024 academic year, and they have now reached $166 million in 2024-2025 academic year. These funds have been dedicated to supporting schools under the community procurement and caterer model for meal provisions, particularly in government-supported regions. In terms of beneficiary coverage, during the 2024-2025 academic year, government-funded feeding programs operated primarily in regions 2 and 4, reaching a total of 211 schools. These schools serve over 118,000 students, The program also engages approximately over 900 cooks as part of the operational spillover, highlighting in its contributions to local employment. This targeted government expenditures has enabled the expansion and operational sustainability of school feeding services, contributing significantly to improve student attendance, enhance learning outcomes, and the provision of essential nutrition to vulnerable children. The government's strategic investment in these programs underscore its dedication to promoting equitable and inclusive education through homegrown solutions. The program's success is further supported by active collaboration with partners such as the World Food Programme, the Catholic Relief Services, with support from the McGovern Dole International Food for Education and Child Nutrition, which extends similar interventions to other regions, thereby collectively enhancing nationwide food security and educational access for over 328,000 students. Collectively, these developments in infrastructure, access, and qualified educators demonstrates the ministry's robust efforts under Pillar 1 to make education accessible, inclusive, and high quality for all Gambian children. These developments lay the foundation for sustained learning success and national progress. Pillar 2 deals with teacher training and professional development. Teachers are the foundation of our education system, and investing in their professional development remains a top priority. Strengthening pre-service trainings at institutions like the University of Education, the Gambia, formerly Gambia College, is ongoing with expanded scholarships to equip new teachers with modern pedagogical skills and expertise. In-service training programs are being broadened to focus on foundational literacy and numeracy, inclusive education, and effective classroom management. The ministry is also committed to enhancing teacher welfare and motivation to retain qualified professionals. A landmark development is the inauguration of the first professional standard board for teachers, entrusted with the critical responsibility of creating a teacher service commission dedicated to upholding the highest teaching standards and maintaining professional integrity in the sector. From 2015 to 2025, teacher qualification rates across all educational levels in the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education has shown significant improvement. At the level of basic education, that is lower basic schools, we saw an increase from 95% of qualified teachers to 99% of teachers qualified. At the level of upper basic, we saw, again, a significant improvement from 95% of all teachers who are regarded to have qualified to teach to 99%, and throughout all other levels, including the senior secondary levels. Overall qualification rates have risen steadily, approaching nearly 100% in 2025, reflecting a major enhancement in the qualification of educators across the country. Pillar 3 deals with strengthening educational systems through innovation and data. Reliable data and efficient systems are the bedrock of sound education, policy, and resource allocations. We are expanding the education management information system called EMIS to improve data integrity and transparency. Our statistical yearbook 2025 exemplifies the power of evidence-driven planning, enabling policies that respond rigorously to the needs of on the ground. The pillar 4 on the Path to Progress agenda focuses on strengthening partnership for collective impact. Collaboration is the foundation for our progress with steadfast partners such as the World Bank, MRC Holland Foundation, Equity Fund for Arab Economic Development, Global Partnership for Education, UNICEF, Child Fund, CRS, Caritas, FIOH, World Food Programme, Lottery Crop, and many others. We are powerfully advancing the sector's development goals. Together, we are transforming the infrastructure, furnishing schools, and equipping laboratories nationwide. These partnerships reflect a shared vision and exponentially expand our ability to deliver sustainable education education resources and services, ensuring that every effort is amplified and every resource is maximized for the benefit of our children and the future of the Gambia. The last pillar deals with monitoring for results and accountability. Commitments without accountability is empty. Through the deployment of the School Improvement Grant, SIG, reporting tool with support from the Minister of Finance and ongoing monitoring by Standards and Quality Assurance Directorate of the sector, we foster transparency and community involvement. SIG tools ensure that all financial expenditures are directly linked to school improvement plans, making every dollar count towards tangible educational progress. Additionally, timely quality assurance visits using digitalized tools assess adherence to teaching and learning standards, offer pedagogical support, and identify best practices. This continuous monitoring helps schools implement corrective actions and drive overall improvement, reinforcing effective management and enhancing learning outcomes across the education sector. Other important ongoing developments to strengthen the sector include foundational learning, strengthening foundational learning. The sector recognizes foundational learning challenges, where only a small percentage of children in grades 1 to 3 meet minimum literacy and numeracy outcomes. To address this, a language in education policy has been developed, awaiting validation and later cabinet approval to promote the use of national languages as a medium of instruction from early childhood development through grade 3. This policy leverages the cognitive benefits of learning in a child's first language, improving comprehension, critical thinking, and creating a strong link between home and school. The initiative to improve foundational literacy and numeracy began with a pilot supported by the Resilience, Inclusive Skills and Equity Project RISE. This pilot explores an innovative method called MAISE, that's Mainstreaming Effective Intervention Strategies in School, which integrates the teaching of English alongside local languages from grades 1 to 3 in partnership with effective intervention. Additionally, the sector has collaborated with Learning Mastermind, foundational learning expert from Ghana, to implement comprehensive programs across all public schools. This partnership emphasizes the use of national languages as the medium of instruction in the early years or early grades, recognizing that teaching children in their mother tongue enhances understanding, boosts early learning, supports cognitive and cultural growth, and builds a strong foundation for lifelong academic success. By prioritizing instructions in national languages, the sector aims to significantly improve learning outcomes for young learners nationwide. In curriculum reforms, civic education has been reintroduced at the senior secondary level since 2021 to promote critical thinking, tolerance, respect for diversity, and civic responsibility. Curriculum materials for civic education at upper and lower basic levels are being developed with support from the European Union, the British High Commission, with plans to pilot these in 2025 through 2026 academic years. We also want to take this opportunity to appreciate the partnership and collaboration with the National Human Rights Commission in developing civic education materials for our schools. To address educational disparities and high dropout rates, especially among girls, the ministry has piloted the Second Chance Education Program since 2019, supported by the World Bank and UNICEF. The program provides learning opportunities for out-of-school children and youth, equipping them with basic education and livelihood skills. Over 2,700 learners have benefited across multiple cohorts, with many being reintegrated into mainstream education or admitted to tertiary institutions. The sector has registered improvements in science and technical education. A significant boost came with over $2 million in cutting-edge laboratory and technical equipment through the Quid Fund for Arab Economic Development, which is intended to enrich practical learning in 26 senior secondary schools and 3 basic cycle schools across the country. In early childhood and inclusive education, New initiatives aim to produce culturally relevant pre-literacy storybooks to enhance early language and critical thinking skills. Efforts to promote inclusivity include the standardization and digitalization or digital documentation of Gambian Sign Language, featuring a dictionary of over 1,800 signs to aid educators and the deaf community. Additionally, the sector conducts thorough medical and educational assessment to identify children with special needs, allowing for tailored interventions such as specialized equipment and adapted teaching methods. Leadership also been strengthened through ongoing capacity building programs for school heads and administrators to improve overall school management, foster community participation, and ensure accountability, all essential for sustained improvements in the learning outcomes. The Path to Progress agenda is not simply an initiative or an agenda. It is a promise that every Gambian child is seen, valued, and provide the foundation to thrive. A promise that teachers are supported and respected as the architects of our future. A promise that together with our partners and communities, we can build an education system that is resilient, inclusive, and pioneering. Today, as we stand united at this critical Mansa Kunda, let us renew our dedication, that is to all our stakeholders, to this important path. Let us envision a Gambia where basic and secondary education is a beacon of hope and a catalyst for sustainable development. The journey ahead requires our unity, our collaboration, working together, our innovation, and our relentless pursuit for excellence. With all of you, I believe we will realize the vision of a brighter future for the Gambia, built on a very solid foundation of education, partnership, and accountability. I thank you all for your commitment and support. ñu ngi nuyu ñëpp asalaamaaleykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakaatu. Defe naa fàtte woon naa jaale late Alhaji Bojang ñuy ñaan yàlla may ko aljanna, di jaale famille bi, di jaale nguur gi, di jaale ñëpp ya rabbal alamin. Tey Mansa Kunda comme ni ko honorable minister waxee, minister of information waxee, bu important la, bu critical la. Mansa Kunda bi mu ngi deal with education mooy njàngum yu ndaw yi, yu ndaw ak yi ne ci digga ak yi éeg ci kaw tuuti ba balaa xale yi di dem university. Mu doon loo xamante ne nag dafa critical important ci dundi xale bi, ndaxte ci lépp li ñuy def bu foundation bi baaxee rek li ne ci kanam am nañ ci yaakaar ne dina baax. mu doon nag ñun especially ñun man ministre ak suma team ak suma stakeholder ak partners si yëpp, mu doon loo xamante ne lu ñu itteel la, ñu bëgg a jàppalanteeg ñëpp because jànga moom ñëpp a ci war a jàppa. waa digga la government mooy provide service of education, waaye nit nañ parents yi ak community ak partners yi ñu jàppa ci bu baax a baax, ndaxte bu ñëpp jàppee rek bu soobee yàlla dina dem. fii nag wax nañ fi yu bari yi nga xamante ne secteur baa ngi koo def jëmee ko xale yi ni ñoo mun a amee school si seeni boor, access to education. bu ñu seetee ci gannaaw dinañ gis ne am na communities yi bari yi nga xamante ne dañ daan travel very long distances rek pour am access to education. am na ñi nga xamante ne dañoo bàyyi sax fi ñu dëkkoon dem dëkkal seen yeneen family members ci town bi ndax rek am access to education. defe naa yooyu fi mu ne ni wàññeeku na torop ndaxte development ak advancement ci secteur bi. ba pare wax nañ fii tamit ne xale yi seeni jànga especially bu ñu seetee ci classroom tamit am nañ ci jëm kanam bu bëree bëri waaw dëgg la du ñàkk isolated cases dinañ ko gis loolu dafa bokk ci development loolu peculiar wut ci Gambia foppe foo dem development daf dee happen gradually te fi mu ne ni dem nañ to a level bi nga xamante ne léegi comfortably mën nañoo wax ne classroom si nekk ci dëkk bi bari na te ba pare baax nañ te nit ñi mën nañoo dem gisal seeni boppa ñuy santa di gërëm MRC Holland Foundation ndax partner bu strong la of Gambia government bu jàppale ministry bi di santa ñaa gërëm tamit Gambia Teachers Union ndaxte jàppale nañ ñu torop in the areas of teacher quarters boobu tam wax nañ ko fi ne teachers yi dañ bëgga teachers yi xam ne ñooy the backbone of society képp ku baax nga jànga mun ràññee xam nga xam ne teacher la jàngal ñun mi fi taxaw tey mun na def li ñoo def nii tey bu du toon teacher duñ ko mun de waaw moo tax dañ bëgg a teachers yi xam ne secteur bi value na leen government value na leen loolu moo tax ñu initiate teacher professional standard board bi pour ñu mun a am a specific board boo xamante ne dina manage teacher service ci dëkk bi ñu jox teacher yi luñ yelloo ñu ensure ne service education bi ñu deliver ko with integrity with high quality su ko defee mu gën a attractive ñi nga xamante ne they are the best in society mun nañoo ñëw ñu join ñu change narrative bi so ñuy wax teacher si nga ca ngalama te ba pare ñun dinañ continuer di liggéey ak yéen ba ensure ne li ñu nama ci suñu jàngum bi ñu am ko ci so ci gàttal yooyu lañ wax ak yëpp yeneen yi nga xamante ne secteur bi ñu ngi koo def ngir rek support basic and secondary education wàllu lekka ndax am na xale yi nga xamante ne yombul ci ñoom si seen i waajur ñu leen a jox lekka ni mu waree so ñu ngi am partners ak Gambia government ñu ngi spend xaalis bu bëri millions pour rek support xale yi nga xamante ne ñu ngi dem ci jàngukaay yooyu ba pare jox leen lekka tam ñu lekka ndax ñu mun leen a maintain ci école yi wax nañ fii tamit ci strengthening education management system loolu aspect la boo xamante ne mënuñoo dem as a sector without it waaw ndaxte ñun dañu rëy boo xamante ne bu ñu amul a système pour monitor lu ñoo def dafa jafe bugga nañ ñoo xam at every point in time li ñoo def bugga nañ koo xam bugga nañoo xam progresses yuñ make bugga nañ xam gaps yi si xale yi ci teachers yi ak yu demee noonu suñ facility suñ infrastructure su systems moo ñoo jàppale ci loolu so am nañ ci foofu ci anam boobu am nañ ci liggéey bu I don't know how to say this in Wolof waaw bu mucc ay waaw and then am nañ partner si World Bank pare am nañ ñeneen ñi nga xamante ne tam ñu ngi show interest so ñu welcome opportunities yooyu pour enhance system bi make sure ne ñu am ay grips of the sector bu ko defee ñu mun a decide promptly on matters that relate to the sector ndax data is powerful and data driven decisions mooy decision bu gën a impactful jërë ngeen jëf.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, Dr. Habibatu Drame, Honorable, for that very brilliant presentation. I think the presentation shows that you and your team, you are doing a very good job at the ministry in trying to transform and modernize the education sector. Now, before we give the opportunity to your team to introduce themselves and tell us what they do at the ministry or in their various line agencies, we have a short video to play. If it's available, Haruna, we can play it, please.
Welcome to the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. At the center of the transformations of the sector is premised on the agenda of the minister, which is dubbed the pathway to progress. This agenda is grounded on 5 pillars, and pillar 1 deals with access to quality education. As we know, access to education to a larger extent in this country has been expanded to take schools and education centers across the country. In this, we also have issues of quality that the sector has brought some reform initiatives to address the issues confronting the quality, or by extension to enhance quality generally. So this is at the heart of our work, and we have so far attained a lot of progress in terms of infrastructure development and enhancement, in terms of school rehabilitations, with support from partners such as MRC Holland Foundation. The sector with government has achieved or attained a lot of progress. The other pillar that the reforms is centered and trying to enhance is with regards to the educators, that is the teachers. So we have a lot of programs that are targeted to enhancing the skills of the teachers to ensure that these services are delivered efficiently and effectively. In this, we continue to embark on professional enhancement programs to ensure that the skills of the teachers are honed or are enhanced to support their work. We also embarked on an assessment to identify the gaps in terms of the skills of these teachers that is relevant to support our work. As we know, education is dynamic. The realities change very frequently, so therefore it is very imperative that we continue to support the teachers, taking them through professional enhancement programs to enable them deliver the services. The third pillar of the Path to Progress agenda of the Minister deals with system improvement. This is critical, this is very important for the sector and for the Minister. What this thing has come to do is to support the improvements of the EMIS system. The EMIS is the Education Management Information System that has been able to support the sector in making evidence-based decisions. This EMIS has the potential to accommodate the sector data, not only accommodate the sector data, but also support it in harvesting data to enhance our work. So a lot of improvements and support has been extended to this system to ensure that we stand at a better position to know the data and to also have access to real-time data in terms of our students, their performances, the teachers, and even wherein there are teacher gaps, wherein they have gaps in delivering the services. This system has the potential to bring all those informations out for the sector to take decisions at the right time and very quickly. The fourth pillar of the agenda of the Minister deals with strengthening partnerships. And this is why we now have the Learning Mastermind that has come to support our foundational learning. I think basically the challenges with the sector largely has to do with foundational learning in terms of literacy and numeracy. So there is a lot of work and reforms currently ongoing to support, to enhance the literacy and numeracy of the students. And this by extension also goes to provide training, appropriate training to the educators, that is the teachers, to ensure that the skills are strengthened enough to be able to deliver those programs, especially relating to literacy and numeracy. So we'll continue to strengthen these partnerships with others, including the World Bank, MRC Holland Foundation. We have UNICEF, Child Fund, to name a few. These are partners and collaborations that the sector values and will continue to demonstrate its commitment to the collaborations to ensure that these services are delivered efficiently and effectively. And when it comes to partnership within the country we will continue to engage with communities. We have very strong structures at the levels of the schools, which includes the PTAs, Parent Teacher Associations, the SMCs, as well as Mothers Club. So these are all partnerships that we will continue to forge, because education is the business of everyone. So we need community to support our work to ensure that we deliver the services. The fifth pillar, which is critical and important to the sector, has to do with monitoring. Yes, we have to keep track of the activities of the sector to be able to know the progress is made so far. So key performance indicators, systems that we are trying very well to strengthen to ensure that we measure progress and know where the gaps are to ensure the services are delivered. By and large, these are some of the reforms that have come to strengthen what already exists in the sector to ensure that we deliver quality and inclusive education to all children of the Gambia. Thank you.
Most interesting part. I know we have some teachers here who are eager to ask questions. We have some headmasters and some headmistresses here. And I agree with you, Honorable Minister, teachers are the backbone of our society. Without teachers, we'll be in trouble. My mom was a teacher, so I know the important role you play in educating our children. Now, before we go on to the next episode, I'd like to give the opportunity to the team to introduce themselves. We start with the PS, name designation, just briefly what your role is at the ministry. I'd prefer if you can choose a local language of your choice to do this. Thank you.
My choice would be Mandela.
Yeah, of course, we'll appreciate that.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Minister. With all protocols duly and respectfully observed, Sumatur Louis Moses Mendela Tuda, man my permanent secretary with the ministry be. Suma liggéey mbaate suma rôle mooy képp ku nekk ci ministry bi ma indi leen booleel ñu ñëpp ñu mun a liggéey together pour lu ministry bi bugg a achieve ñu achieve ko loolu mooy putting all the different skill sets ci ministry bi and provide the leadership that will ensure that those skill sets come to interplay to be able to achieve the goal of the ministry. That's primarily my job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jërëjëf Honorable Minister. Gannaaw bu ñu nuyoo kilifa fi toog borom ndomb tànk yëpp ku nekk ci turam ak jëmmam ñu leen di wax guddik jàmm. Man maa ngi tudd Adama Jimba Diop, maay Deputy Permanent Secretary Programs. Man maa toppa ci Permanent Secretary bi ki nga xam ne mooy kalaak ba mag bi amee ministry bi programme yi ministry bi di doxal man maa ko jiite maa ko saytu ma nekk diggante liggéeykat yi ak ministre ak Permanent Secretary ci programme yi nga xam ne ñu ngi koy doxal ci ministry bi jërë ngeen jëf.
Assalamu alaikum. Community Usman Ba, Deputy Permanent Secretary Administration. Ligam Wani Purwat Gold Support Permanent Secretary, Management of the sector. Wani in terms of HR, Wallo Jogito Befi teachers bebe, monitoring, attended the fourth dal, Kalako and Permanent Secretary no Gold Ministry. Community Gari the Purwalita Gold Menwa Golu de Gold. Inshallah, on Jaram.
Assalamu alaikum. Ndeto Lamin Singh Atelti, Deputy Permanent Secretary for Finance. Ndal responsible to helping with the pass out the Ministry of the passport Minister of the Ministry of Basic Education. Coming from the pass out la PS advisor la na isi na kacha And one of my responsibilities is make sure budget execution of na Ministry of Finance mendina de paso la Carola kaje ko fana ngana ko paso ngana ko kul tambinda aniwo akana tambi wala wala na responsibility fo fe mu de paso ko ti dal ka PS yamar wala ntela do ko la baraka.
All right, thank you very much. So that brings us to the Q&A section of this Mansa Kunda. We'll take, do you want to take 2 or 4 questions at a time, Honorable Minister? We'll take 4 questions. We'll take 2 from this end and 2 from this end, and we'll come back to the Minister to answer. Then we'll be doing that until the end of the session. So we'll start here. If we have 2 people here, the lady in front here, Mata. Your name and then your question.
Good evening to you all. My name is Ndei Sise. I work with Gado and I'm a sign language teacher. So we're very happy to have the Minister of Education, Honorable Habibatu Drame. Thank you very much. First of all, we want to thank you very much for supporting deaf education in the Gambia. We've registered success this year. But now my first question to you is, oral exam in the WAS examination of grade 12 students, we want you to remove it for the deaf students. Because oral exam is bringing radios, and deaf people cannot hear. So we want to appeal to the minister and his team, and her team, to please remove oral exam for deaf people about to sit grade 12. Because this has really affected us in this year. They have 7 credits, 3 people had 7 credits, but they fail, all of them fail English language, I think because it is this. So the other thing is we also want them to support the education, deaf education. And deaf education cannot go without sign language. And we know they started supporting the development of sign language and other things. So we want them to reinforce them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Sise. Those are very important questions. I'm pretty much sure that the minister will take care of them. The next question, please. We'll come to that end. We are on this side still.
Okay. Jërë ngeen jëf maa ngi tudd Amat Kebe Joko Paradise TV. ñi jaajëfal ko bu baax a baax ci li nga xam ne jot na ko fësal fii li ma la ko loon laaj rek mooy seen diggante ak ñi nga xam ne ñoo nekk amaana muy Arabic school yi ndax jot nañ gis seen report bi nga xam ne ñoom jotoon nañ ko génne 2018 suma jumut amoon ne more than 100,000 Arabic students yoo xam ne nekk nañ fii nii ci biir réew mi bëgg nañoo xam naka ngeen liggéey ak amaana ak Minister of Basic and Secondary Education naka la ñoo jàppalante ak ñi nga xam ne ñoo nekk amaana.
Jërëjëf. I'm not solo. Wow. So 2 more questions from that end. We'll start with Mulai. I think I saw your hand up, isn't it? Yeah. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. Mediamala ni manika kamola. I think covering COVID nata teacher new student or baby so honore. We are in ministry lesson or introduce prukake telelto, which is very important. Bari kukilim bije. Adia mine landi pruka jibe ni mesos ning kuo keta kotente albe mine tala pruka jibe ni kuo kananke kotente alia step star ka jibe lesson or bitala nyadi there continuously.
Thank you.
Now second question, which is very important. Naje ko mopsi radio station o londile pour dinngol karanya ta because sate dol biye wol buka tele sotono so ke radio don la moyno bari ku kilim bija mantara taka I don't know minam promote ani miatina hani saying alma dati
radio mantara taka
no mantara operator
menalize no busile bulla. All right, one more question. Let's start in front and we'll come to the back. Okay. No, give it to the gentleman. This morning I deprived him of his question.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I would speak, but think maybe at the end. But I'm sorry, I have 3 questions. They're very important.
We'll take 2 for now, and then you come back with the one later.
Really? Okay. This is Abubakar Sise, the former head boy of Nusra Senior Secondary School and the National Youth Parliamentarian for just one constituency as well. I have very important questions as the student representative of the Gambia student leaders. The question has been distressing, to be honest. there have been recent follow-ups to me. So the first question I have has to do with the rampant leakages pertaining the recent concluded WAS examination. Students have been coming to me without numbers pertaining the leakages. So I want to know the immediate and the long-term measures the ministry would put in place to ensure the credibility and integrity of this examination, because this is key to our life. So it is high time the ministry worked on that. So I want to know the situation of the ministry. So the follow-up question would be, a student or a senior student from a certain school, I will not mention this school because it would be a tragedy. The performance in that school is so disheartening. It reads, head boy in our school, only 3 people got 5 credits. And that without English and mathematics. That 3 people who got 5 credits without English and mathematics. The rest, 1 credit, 2 credit, or 0 credit. I will not mention the school, and the school is located in Brikama.
My town.
Yes. So, but I do want to know that there might have been something wrong to the school, or whether there is a punishment attached to the school, that is why that is happening. So I want to know from the ministry why this thing has been happening in the country.
Your questions are very important. Thank you. No, that's fine. We'll come back to you later. We'll allow the minister and her team to answer those questions for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those questions. So let me start with the question relating to deaf education. We want to thank our sister for raising that very important concern of oral exams. So I think it's a concern she has raised, that they are challenged based on the special needs or the circumstances of the situation, that oral exams have been very difficult with them. So I have noted this. I will consult with colleagues in the sector and with WAEC to see how we can address this matter. We have to remember that education must be made convenient to the people. And this is going to be the way forward, inshallah. We'll make education convenient for every child so that they participate in the examinations at a very level field or playing field. We will continue to engage with the special needs schools and to support them. Like I said in my report, we have already conducted an assessment to understand the needs of the students in terms of special needs, to be able to support them with assistive devices where appropriate to enhance their learning or to allow them to enjoy their learning. The question from our brother from Paradise, I would want to answer in Wolof. Jërëjëf brother ci laajte boobu. Waaw naam dañuy liggéey ak amaana bu baax sax. Since 2025, or bi ma ñëwee, am nañ series of meetings with Amana, leaders yi Amana ak madrasas yi pour wax rek ne madrasas yi nga xamante ne dañ register with the sector through Amana. Bépp madrasa yóbbul nañ la fa an English teacher, a science teacher, and a maths teacher pour support madrasas yi ndax students yi easily mun a integrate in the conventional system bu ñoo transit. Wax la tamit ne bokk na si suñu development lépp li ñoo def ñu boole ci madrasa si recently madrasa si ñu ngi leen supply with furniture. Am na madrasa si ñu visit ñi nga xamante ne am nañ gaps ci anami ay toogu ak seen office furniture. Am nañ a lot of them ñi nga xamante ne across the country provide nañ support boobu ndaxte madrasa bi boo ko seetee generally they form more than 27% of the entire student population of basic and secondary education. So critical, it's a critical number. Bi nga xamantene dañ leen war a boole suñu liggéey bu ko defee medium of instruction bi rek a different waaye idea bi mooy ñu jàngal leen liñ dee jànga ñun ci conventional system bi in Arabic waaw bu ko defee ñu mën a contribute meaningfully to national development. Boobu mooy suma tontu ci làcce boobu suñu broda bu làcce ci mandinka mbe tentu la baake mbe jay la o ñininkaro la yetto ñafo kabirin covid nata kañ ngamira masi bolom nu bari ay mol kele nga innovative, which was a blessing in disguise to some extent, because karango man it was very difficult for learning to stop. Nga ministry tend to back in for the innovation, at least they resorted to something. And therefore it was difficult and tough because amanke ko dinugol be access to television, for example, especially the remotest places, and in radio, but at least he stepped tale and it allowed the sector to continue delivering the educational services. Mbemem fole yeje saying advanced tale detala telel ning radio to. So we have advanced so much now. We are thinking of digitalizing. We are thinking of mainstreaming digital education in the sector. Just to tell you that we have Island Gambia platform that we are working to expand, to get to the reach of every child, especially first at the level of senior secondary school, so that they can have access to teaching and learning materials. And it will be a blend of both physical education, face-to-face, as well as having access to teaching and learning material digitally at a very diverse form, because then you will also complement it with other teaching and learning of other contexts that resonates with our system. So all the more directional. Yalong kabedin lota jam mtabe phone hola. But purka forek, these are all parts of the reforms to blend digital learning in our education system. Radio station saying abe kumatela. In fact, malo mune keta last week aben hakilo to purunga na timo nyininka. But for some reason, so many things nyinata. But purka fai alioko nin na partner be engaged. In fact, nin na partner initial meeting also tole. So it's on the table. And also to tell you that we have started the education forum. Lafta men olom ning society ye kacha. Komi nga fale nyaming komanto. Karango mumbela business oleti. Wallahi hani nintelbe sector to ninga kuo beke dinungol imang support sort of from the family atetala. Mbe alonko karango koleatale. Just take your own experience. Intel kaberim betala school, it was more difficult. I remember na grade 1, nfangole na sirango chika kasamba school. Na sirango chika kasamba school. I came from a family that has, deep Arabic, Islamic education. So among that kind of guidance, sort of put more kafan jokota study, in type of teacher sotola. So didn't know fangone ala ya mako ya hammo soto. Obe succeed len hani na la teacher man betea. But in tindingo mam macho. Ama long alafta menna. O ibe o guide la. O na la teacher man na ya la teacher e gap so soto abet kole ala de pour yo succeed. So wala atinna o radio program ol mba kelale. Men na radio station inshallah very soon ba kumasala. Notwithstanding, nka program also to GRTS very soon ba to la ngamera QTV pour ka community engage pour ka ensure mbe na nyantoke diningol la karangola fo nyato sat nyato tase sotoje. The fourth question on from the student leader. Thank you very much. The student leader that represented his colleagues. Yes, regarding examination, I wouldn't call them leakages. Malpractice was what happened. I told a lot of people who came to me and said that the exam papers they leaked. I said, bring me the evidences. I'm not saying it's not possible, because you see in this life, no matter what you do, people will find ways to be deceitful. That is the reality. So what we can do as a sector is to put in very strong and stringent measures to avoid leakage of exam paper. But just to tell you, as at this point, we are not able to confirm any leakage of the grade 12 exams. What we have found